birthday. Did you enjoy the breakfast I made you? I didn't make a breakfast.
I had for breakfast some of
Birthday
the
cake.
lovely birthday cake provided by my mother-in-law because my wife would not make me a birthday cake. And I had a grilled cheese sandwich, actually 2, that I made for myself because my wife was still asleep on my birthday.
I did offer to make you...
She did offer, but she offers every day, and I would starve if I waited.
That's so not true.
The beginnings of my 45th year will be spent traveling towards Dudley, where we will not be going through the Dudley Tunnel today.
We need to get measured to see if we fit in the Dudley Tunnel, because it's not a tunnel you go through on your own. You have to get a tug through and you have to check that you fit first. So we'll turn up today and they'll measure us.
Yeah, at the north end of the tunnel, there is a measuring gauge that can be like drawn out and applied to your boat somehow. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but it's a portable gauge. If you're on the south side of the tunnel, you have to actually drive up to the base of the tunnel and be like, nope. Or, yep. So
luckily we're going to the north end.
Yeah.
And there is a number of routes to go there. We are going to take the Birmingham main line, Birmingham level, I think.
Yeah.
Which is slightly longer, but...
Wait, no, hold on. Yes, we're going the straight line, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Birmingham main level, new line.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
But this section that we're going on today is going to be closed when we come back through in a couple of months. So that's why we're doing it today.
A couple of months, a couple of weeks.
Whenever we come back through, it'll be closed. It's closed for a few months.
Yeah.
And yes, that's why we're going this way. We've just been through the Smethwick locks, and there's some, I think it's the Swan locks coming up.
Mm-hmm. 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, we're going via Tipton Green. That's our route. And yeah, there's 3 more locks there, I think. We need to get to the Dudley, what's it called? The Black Country Museum before it closes.
Because I'd like to actually see some of the Black Country Museum if possible. So, in order to do that, I've got to get off, get moving, get over. We got like 5 miles to go. Yeah,
it's about 4 hours, I think. It's quite a long way.
Doesn't look like it right now, but forecast is for rain in the afternoon again, so we kind of want to get there before 4 o'clock.
We're more organised today because yesterday we got caught out in one of the locks, the first lock.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have our anti-vandal keys. So that was annoying. So we're both armed today.
So if any vandals come by,
we will repel you.
We will repel you.
It is really weird up here because there is another canal, like literally just there. So I
Yeah.
find it's really strange. Anyway, did you want to walk and look at the pump house, or are you just going to see it as you go by?
I'll go by it.
I know you'll go by it.
I'll go by it.
All right, so you need a hat.
I'll need my hat.
So there we are. Down there. This canal. Michael's just pulling up to the locks over there and I can't get across. There's construction and now 2 bits of canal, so I'm going to walk down that way and see if I can go back and help him. Not ideal. You've got a road going over a railway, going over a canal, which is also going over a canal. So we've just done the 3 spun locks. We're just in the bottom one waiting for the water to drop, and we are about to join the Birmingham main line. We're on the Birmingham old line and we're joining the Birmingham main line, and I think me and George are going to get on the boat now after our adventures this morning in the construction site. Back there is the turning to the Dudley Tunnel. That's where Michael's going to go. But again, I'm on the wrong side of the canal, so I'm off to find a bridge. So we arrived at the Dudley Tunnel Canal Trust.
Just outside the Black Country Living Museum.
We arrived last night, but...
Well, there was this hope that yesterday was my birthday, and it was like, okay, we'll show up, and they told us when we called that just show up and we'll check if you fit under a gauge, and if you fit under a gauge, we'll take you through the next day. So it was like, okay, we'll show up on my birthday, I'll go to the Black Country Museum. If we're lucky, we fit under the gauge, we go through the next day. We don't fit under the gauge.
Half the boat doesn't fit under the gauge. No, it's like halfway down our boat.
Basically, it's got this crazy curve, and like the very top of it, we'd fit under, but
yeah, we'd lose all the corners.
We'd shave most of the corners off the boat.
So we were very disappointed. So we didn't record, and then it was about 1 o'clock, and we decided to make the most of being here. And Michael went off to the Black Country Living Museum.
It was really good. Walked around, saw all sorts of sort of old industrialia and some horses and ponies, and there was all these young children running around looking for Santa Claus. There was some sort of Santa hunt on.
You didn't join in.
And I was like, I am not Santa Claus, but you can look at me like you are very scared that I might be. It's the cold of winter sort of thing, so they've actually got these like braziers out where they're burning, anthracite, like old school coal, like not like our little nodules of compressed.
I said to Michael when he came back, why didn't you come back with your pockets full of it?
Well, yeah, but I thought,
Theft.
Kind of like coming away from the Taj Mahal with a brick. Except for probably not. But, you know.
And you got to make some chain.
Well, yeah, it was kind of neat. The blacksmith there was demonstrating how to make chain and everything, and I just, after everybody left, I asked him a question about this thing he called a Tommy hammer, and he was like, well, why don't you just step over the chain and I'll show you. So he took a hot piece of chain and put it down and kind of hammered a bit and everything, and yeah, it was kind of cool. So I'm now officially a blacksmith.
A little birthday treat.
Yeah.
90% of this country's chain was made within 5 miles of this spot. It was top quality. If they could have made it anywhere else, they would have done. Why would the Navy want it shipped down from here if they made it at Portsmouth, Plymouth or Chatham Dockyard? Wouldn't have to pay for the transport. They'd have to pay for the material to go down there. But it was top quality and they met the deadline.
It's well worth the trip. It's a very large site. Yeah, it's £18 for an adult, although if you're going with the family, the prices get a heck of a lot better. There's a little transport museum, there's
lots of old boats.
Yeah, and there's a really nicely rebuilt old section of town where you get a feeling for why they call it the Black Country, because like all of the ground is just completely black with coal dust and everything. So I spent my birthday walking around the Black Country Living Museum, which has a lot of coal in it. It's pretty amazing stuff, actually, around here. There's a mine you can go down, an old mine shaft, and spend some time walking around, some horses. Really neat old, can't really quite see it from here, but there's an old fairgrounds with a helter-skelter, and things, there you go, a little bit as you would have been able to ride back in the day, where you can just pay for some tokens and take some old-timey rides. The thing is, you got to be smaller than me for most of them. Yeah, but yeah, it's been really nice. Strange and interesting place. There's a whole little village that you can walk around where there's people recreating things. Spent a bunch of time talking to a blacksmith about the chain that they made here or in this area. So yeah, it's totally cool. Really, really large. Like you got to walk for quite a while. There is a bus you can take around, but I decided not to do that, and I'm kind of regretting it now. Yeah.
But we couldn't go on a boat trip because, well, 2 reasons. 1, George isn't allowed. 2, they weren't running them. They were just doing special pre-booked Santa cruises, so everyone who was on them was dressed up as Father Christmas. And we actually we came here in 2017, I think, before we'd moved onto the boat. We might have bought it.
Well, before we'd moved onto the boat, and even before we bought it.
Was it? But I might have some old pictures or something. If I can find them, I'll put them in the video.
Shells Basin, if you look to the left-hand side of the boat, you will see flooded mine, and on the right-hand side of the boat, you will see Tipton mine. Now, flooded mine, if you worked in there, you worked in roughly about 2.5 foot of water. Now, you are going to feel a slight tap on the boat as I come out of this tunnel. That's the reason because I've got to do a 90-degree turn in this basin. There we go. And this is Castle Mill Basin. If you look to your right hand side, you will see another mine entrance. That has an iron gate on it. That leads down to the caverns below us, which are the Seven Sisters and the church cavern. At the moment they're full of sand, and there are plans to get them completely reopened again, provided we can find £28 million. On the right hand side, the Dudley Canal Tunnel, we'll be coming out of there in about 20-25 minutes. But we're going into the left hand side, which is a modern tunnel. And this modern tunnel was constructed.
Yeah, so they do a short tour that just sort of goes in. And there's a little bit of a light show in one of the caves and stuff, but there's a longer tour that goes all the way through. Yeah. And that's the one I'd like to do. But those are shut down until March, so
that was a shame as well. We went to the chocolate factory last week and that was closed.
Yeah.
Not having much luck. You got to make a chain, that's cool.
I got to make a chain.
The cruise yesterday was fairly interesting. The first section was just bizarre because it doesn't really show on the map, because on the map they just show the canal, they don't really show the road. And the reason they don't show the road is because it goes over the canal. And if they showed the road, you wouldn't see where the canal was. So we got there and it's just like about a mile of being
underneath the big freeway.
The M5, I think it is. And it's all they're doing maintenance, it's all scaffolded.
They're not doing maintenance. They're doing asbestos removal.
How do you know?
Because of the big big, like portable building inside there. It says asbestos removal unit.
And below it, there's all kind of fences up where the works are going on. So it was very weird. So then we got to the top of the locks, and I just thought I'd be able to walk across. But not only could I not get to the locks because there was no bridge, I couldn't get even to the boat for Michael to pick me up because it was all fenced off. So I had to go off for this massive long walk round to try and find a bridge.
And while she was doing that, I was trying to remove an actual island of weed that had accumulated in the lock entrance.
So they were the spawn locks, they were fine. And then we had this really long straight on the new main line.
The Birmingham main level. And we went past the Pudding Green Junction and then continued along past a small junction that comes down to the old line.
Yeah, and then
past the Netherton Tunnel junction, and then all the way up to
the factory locks.
The factory locks, which we barely made it through because the anti-vandal key, neither of ours, and this one's brand new and the other one's a little bit older, but neither of them would actually move the little square because it had been sheared
off. There's like
off.
Square bolts in there, but the square bolts over time, I guess, been rounded off.
Yeah, so it just spins.
Luckily, one mechanism on each end of the lock was working. So
yeah, because if at any one of them, two of them had been down, we would just...
So yeah, then we finally got down there and we came down the last little bit, and me and George walked this last stage, and then it happened again. There was no bridge by the turn, so Michael came down to the mooring here, well, just outside the mooring, and I had to walk miles with George to get to a bridge again.
Yeah, and then I couldn't see how to get Joe through a gate, so I basically sat there for however long it took you to get around the bridge.
Just hovering. So yeah, by the time we got here, we were like, no, we're not recording. And then we found out that we wouldn't fit. We spoke to the people at the museum, found out we wouldn't fit, and we were just a little bit dejected.
There was a reasonable chance that it wouldn't go in, that we wouldn't be able to fit. I thought we had a chance. Like I thought.
I would have thought on the phone they'd have said, well, 90% of narrowboats don't fit in.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine how anyone.
No.
We're not particularly high.
No, and I couldn't find any measurements or anything. And I guess it totally depends on water level.
Maybe they just let people.
The actual curvature really is the problem.
Maybe they just let people showing up. So if you don't fit, you'll just go on their boat tour.
Yeah. Well, you're showing up. I mean,
while you're here, but
lots of pounds. You can just go in.
Not that we're running the boat tour today.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was yesterday. It was a really good day, actually.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So thanks for watching. I'm 44. I'm not happy about that, but if you like it, hit the thumbs up, click the subscribe button, bell thing to get notifications.
Such a good start.
Almost did it. And subscribe. Recording. I am 44. Brian Blessed is blessed pissed. What?
Oh my god. Number of times. Not yesterday. The other day, I went out. I can't remember where I went. I came back and I'd said, you can have the corn escalopes for lunch. They're in the oven. They're in the fridge. You just need to put them in the oven. I came back at 4. I'm so hungry.
They don't make themselves do that. So, it's morning. It's the first morning of my 45th year on this planet, and I'm not impressed.
44.
44th year?
Oh no, you're turning 40.
This is, yeah,
We're 40. Sorry.
I'm not impressed with what you people have done with it. I mean, it's fine here in Birmingham, but seriously, what's with the Donald Trump? Anyway, so if any vandals come by,
we will repel you.
We will repel you. Although
right.
What you're doing, being here, 1,300, 1,400 years out of date, but still a member of an obscure tribe.
And it is really bizarre.
At least there's no Visigoths.
But,
well, it's winter time.
But the cruise yesterday
That's
was...
why my birthdays are always disappointing. Everything is shut.
No, they're not.
Well, not always. I mean, there was the time we walked across a volcano, and there was the time I was on the Empire State Building, and there was the time I was swimming with jellyfish in Palau.
Exactly.
Yeah, my birthday's been pretty cool.